Robert García finalmente rompió el silencio sobre el futuro de Jesse Bam Rodríguez y sus ambiciones en el boxeo. Este fin de semana, Bam tendrá un combate frente a un oponente menos conocido, mientras su entrenador comparte detalles sobre las expectativas para esta pelea y los planes que tienen a mediano y largo plazo. En una entrevista, Robert García se tomó un momento para hablar sobre los temas actuales en torno a su pupilo, incluyendo la próxima pelea en Filadelfia, las metas que tienen en mente y las oportunidades de enfrentarse a nombres importantes en las divisiones superiores. Expectativas de García para la próxima pelea de Bam. Bam se enciende cuando enfrenta un verdadero reto. Es en esos momentos cuando da lo mejor de sí mismo. Esta pelea no es exactamente lo que teníamos en mente. Originalmente, esperábamos un enfrentamiento contra Gallo Estrada, pero él decidió subir de categoría, lo cual también respetamos. Así que ahora estamos obligados a enfrentar a un rival obligatorio, y aunque Guevara no era nuestra primera opción, es un peleador fuerte, un ex campeón que busca hacerse un nombre. Es mexicano, tiene hambre y quiere demostrar que puede competir con los mejores del país. Estamos listos para este desafío, y Bam se ha preparado a conciencia. ¿Qué combate podría catapultar a Bam al estrellato? Para que Bam alcance el estatus de superestrella, creo que una pelea de unificación en las 115 libras sería ideal. Quizás contra el Puma Martínez, que podría ser el nombre más fuerte en esa categoría, a menos que caiga en su próximo combate contra Ayouka. En tal caso, una pelea en Japón contra Ayouka sería la más grande oportunidad para Bam. A Bam le encantaría coronarse como campeón indiscutido de la división, pero todo depende de que los otros campeones estén dispuestos a enfrentarse. Si no logramos hacer nada significativo en 115, entonces iremos a 118. No estamos aquí para peleas fáciles, Bam quiere grandes desafíos, y 118 libras podría ser el siguiente paso en su carrera. ¿Podría Bam subir a 122 y enfrentarse a Naoya Inoue? Definitivamente es una posibilidad. Sin embargo, creo que para cuando Bam llegue a las 122 libras, pasarán unos 2 o 3 años. No sabemos si Inoue estará aún en esa categoría o si habrá subido a 130 para ese momento. Todo es posible, pero si ambos coinciden en el peso, Bam está dispuesto a enfrentar esos desafíos.
Let's switch gears. Bam, he fights next week. So what do you expect from Bam next week in that fight in Philadelphia?
Well, just put up a performance, man. You know, Bam gets motivated when he's fighting a challenge, a real challenge. That's when he performs his best. This fight wasn't what the fight that we expected. Obviously, Bam, we were scheduled to fight Gallo Estrada again, but Gallo decided to move up in weight, which is fine also. So we have to fight a mandatory. You know, that's our mandatory. Tough guy. Guevara is a tough guy. You know, he's a former champion. He's in there to do what nobody else has done, and he's also Mexican. So you know, he wants to prove that he's up there with all the best Mexicans in the world. So we're up for a challenge also. You know, Bam's training hard. He's dedicated. He's in shape. You know, next week already, next Saturday in Philadelphia.
What is the fight? Because at those lower weight classes, you know, you've been in boxing, you fought, your family's been involved, obviously. Those lower weight classes are hard to make superstars out of, right? What's the fight that gets Bam to that? Because talent-wise, he's there. But what's the fight that gets him there, that puts him over the hump? Who?
I think at 115 right now, a unification fight. You know, maybe Puma Martinez is probably the best out there, the biggest name out there. Unless in December he loses to Ioka, then against the Ioka, maybe in Japan, that's probably the biggest fight out there for Bam. But if there's nothing else, you know, Bam would love to be undisputed at the division, but we got to see if the champions are available. After that, if he doesn't, if nothing happens at 115, then it'll be 118. He's not gonna just defend his belts against nobodies, against guys that don't mean much for him. He wants to challenge himself. He does challenge himself. He wants the big challenges. So I think 118 will be our next move.
So, you know, I gotta ask you, and I know it's far-fetched, they're two weight classes apart, but do you see Bam making his way up to 122 even, to chase or set the stage for a fight with Inoue? Is that ever possible?
No, definitely, it's definitely possible. But Inoue, by the time Bam's at 122, I think it'll be 2 or 3 years from now. I don't know if Inoue will be at 122. He might be at 130 by that time. You never know. But if he is, those challenges, Bam wants those challenges. But that's the fights that motivate Bam. You know, if it doesn't mean nothing, he's not even gonna fight. He wants unifications, he wants challenges, and like I told you, if it's not at 115, if he wouldn't find any challenge at 115, then he's gonna go move. He's gonna go after the 118 pounders, and you know there's a few good fighters at 118, but eventually at 122, maybe 2 years from now, if Inouye's still there, of course that's a possibility.
I interviewed last week on my show No Holds Bar, which we got to get you on. So No Holds Bar is a segment we do on Fight Hype. So I had the Russell brothers on. At 118, you got Gary Antonio Russell. They're just a division away. Is that a fight that you could ever see happening? Because that's a name, right? That's a name that maybe that could help Bam grow.
Those fights, you know what, Bam. I didn't even know about Gary, because they're all named Gary, right?
Yeah. So this is Antonio. He goes by his middle name.
I didn't even know there was only 18 pounders. so
there is.
If I tell Bam, he probably doesn't even know that either. So, will it more? Does he have a title?
No, he doesn't have a title.
Then maybe he needs to get a title before that, because that's
fair enough.
Bam wants to fight big fights. He wants to fight champions. He wants to challenge himself. I know. Bam would definitely prefer fighting somebody like maybe Nakatani.
Nakatani. Yeah.
That would probably be the fight that motivates Bam instead of anybody else, because that's the biggest fight out there, and he would love to do it. You know, we'll see what Nakatani wants to do. He might move up to 122 to challenge Inouye, so we'll see. But eventually at 122, he'll probably meet both of them.
Pregunta del día. ¿Creen que Jesse Bam Rodríguez debería mantenerse en las 115 libras en busca de ser campeón indiscutido, o debería subir de categoría en busca de desafíos más grandes? Déjenos sus opiniones en los comentarios y únete a la discusión. Si te ha gustado el contenido, no olvides dejar un like, suscribirte para más noticias del mundo del boxeo, y activar la campanita para que no te pierdas ninguno de nuestros vídeos. Nos vemos en el próximo vídeo.